Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. In today's video, this video is for a color challenge using Seaside Spray, Soft Seafoam, and Purple Posy. And this is the card I came up with. And I chose to use the Above the Clouds bundle with the Hot Air Balloon Punch. And so we're going to use those. When you purchase these two items as a bundle, you do save 10%. And while you're watching the video, if you could give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel right down here in the corner to be notified when I upload new videos. So let's get started and I'll get my supplies. All right, here's the supplies we need to create the card. I have a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of crumb cake, and I have scored that down the center at 5 1/2. I have scrap of Seaside Spray, Soft Seafoam, 1 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of Purple Posy, and then a little strip of crumb cake for my little balloon baskets. So I guess we'll go ahead and run this layer through my die cutting machine, and I'm gonna bring in my bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. And I'm going to be using the Scripty 3D folder. And so I'm going to use this printed line that comes on the folders as a guide so that the edge of my paper, so that my words aren't going to be crooked. So I've got the edge of my cardstock there, and my fold line is right up here at the top, or at the side, I guess, of the folder. And then I'm going to bring in my platform, and I'm going to place my folder on that. I'm going to cover it with our new 3D embossing mat, and I'm going to run it through my machine, and I will be right back. All right, so here we have our Scripty background. It's not super noticeable, but it definitely does give the card a little something, which is what I was looking for. Okay, so then this piece here, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I've got my sentiment here, and I'm going to stamp it in the Seaside Spray ink. Go ahead and ink that up. I'm going to bring in a little foam mat since I'm using photopolymer. All right, set that aside. We also need to do our hot air balloons, and so I'm going to do my Seaside Spray balloon. Ink that up, and we'll just stamp that right here. And then I also have my other balloon that I'm going to stamp in the Soft Seafoam onto the Soft Seafoam scrap. Stamp that right there. And then I'm going to bring in my little strip of crumb cake. What did I do with that? Aha, here you are, hiding on me. Put these away so I don't end up getting ink where I don't want it. And then I have my little basket images. I have the solid basket and the detailed basket. So we'll go ahead and do a couple of detailed baskets. Oh, whoops, I want to do it on this end actually, because I'm going to stick it into the punch from that side. And then our solid basket, I'm going to ink it up and stamp it off. And then, whoops, stamp it over the top just so it adds a little bit of dimension to the basket. There we go. Now we're done with this. So now we can bring in the punch. Here we have the punch. And like I said, this little skinny strip should work pretty good, I think, to get our baskets. Line that up best I can with the eyeballs that I have these days. And then we'll slide that next one over. Get that done. So now we don't need that. Bring in the balloons. And we'll get those lined up. There's one. And two. Okay. So we need to keep the 2 balloons and our 2 baskets. And then the rest of these things scoop out of the way. Clean my stamps off. I bring in my chamois, and my chamois is super stained, but I don't care. I love this thing. It's super simple to clean off. I just rinse it under the sink, and then the ink just comes out and leaves this beautiful stained piece here for me. Okay, so now we can start our assembly process. So I also have some of our, what is this stuff called exactly? Scalloped linen ribbon, and this is the Seaside spray. And I had a little chunk left over from another project that I was doing, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that. And I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive. So I'll bring in the silicone mat, make sure I'm getting it at the top. And I'm just going to line this with the tear and tape. I can just tear that off. Press that into place. And then I don't have a whole lot of fingernails here, so we're going to do the best we can. And then I'm just going to back fold that little excess that I don't need. Okay, so I'm going to lay this flat. And I just want this to be butted up against the blue, the Seaside spray color that's on the ribbon here. Bring that a little closer to my eyes so I can see. Okay, I think that looks okay. Press that into place. And we'll just trim off the excess here. And there we have it. Okay, so now we can just adhere this to our front of our card. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue here. And I'm just going to put it on the paper. I don't really think it's necessary to put it on the ribbon. I don't know how the glue would work on the ribbon, so, well, maybe we'll try it. Well, it should work. I wasn't going to, but then, yeah, you know, you change your mind. That's what creating is. You come up with something, and then you go, well, you know, I think I'm going to change my mind. So I'm just lining this up at the bottom of the card, on the front, of course. All right, and no, I thought I had a little tiny bit of excess here, so I'm going to snip that off. There we go. All right, so here's what we have so far. I'm going to move some of these things out of the way. All right, so our balloons, we need to add the basket. So I'm just going to put a tiny, tiny bit of glue down here at the base of the balloon. And then I'm just going to add my basket. Okay, and then we'll add this basket. Get it right where we want it. Okay, and then I'm going to add these to the card like so. Whoops, I want the blue one up there. So I'm going to do it about like that. So this one I'm going to glue flat. Find my placement again. So that one's going to go about like that. Okay. Then I'll bring in some dimensional pieces here for this other balloon. Just tear off some of these strips here, the edges. Don't ever throw your edges away. Okay. Go ahead and get the paper backings off of these two. And I'm going to add it about like so. All right, so then our final thing we need to do is I've got my Woven Threads sequin assortment here. I've got my Take Your Pick tool. Make sure my putty is nice and ready to use. And I think that it is. And so I'm going to add just a tiny dot of glue on a few places on this card. That one might be a little bit too much, so I'm just going to touch my finger on it, wipe it on my hand here. I'm going to add a couple up here at the top. And then I thought I'd add, about 3 down here in the corner. Okay, so then I'm going to search for the bluish colored ones. And I think, yep, that one looks bluish, so we'll go ahead and add that one up here. There's another bluish one. Bring it down here. And then I want some smaller ones, so I'm just going to kind of lick my finger and pull some out of there. See which ones we want to use. Okay, I definitely want to use this little guy here. here's another one that I thought I would set on my balloon. And there should be a teeny tiny one in here somewhere. Where are you, teeny tiny ones? We need to get a few more out. There it is right there. Maybe my glue dried there. Okay, here's another smaller one that I thought I'd put in the corner. And then I need another smallish one up here at the top. Okay, so there is my card. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I would love to be your demonstrator. If you don't already have one, you can order from me at shoppingwithbarb.com. I always offer free gifts with purchase every month. They change. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel down here in the corner and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I always appreciate that. And thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day.